Okay, I'm gonna run this Remy. This is a newest version from today, the 20th and or the 19th. I am going to run 2 weeks from the 7th through the 11th, and then the 14th through yesterday, the 18th. So let's go. I'm running one contract. I'm running the status box on here. It's set to unrealized on this playback account. I have it set to unrealized with a $2,500 margin, which is tight. So that's why this is NQ, and you have to have big stops. So that's why I'm only doing one contract. Once we get over that $2,500, once we're near the $2,500, I'm fine. But when you start getting down lower, under half of that, then, you really got to be very concerned. So, especially with NASDAQ, or else just take smaller targets just to kind of build it up and keep it hovering around that 2,000 area. So, in any event, without further ado, let's just let it rip. Let me turn it on, and I just have so I'm just doing 60 and 100 because it's dynamic. It's going to do a dynamic stop and dynamic profit target. So, but I have to have something in there to get this is an indicator, so it needs the ATM to trigger. So it's on right now, and let's just go. Keep an eye on your margin there, your drawdown. $645 left on this account because there was a couple losers back to back that took big stops. And then it came all the way, or not big stops, but it went all the way in the money, like this right here. It goes all the way down there. It doesn't hit your target and it comes all the way back. That right there will kill your margin. We still got some trade management to work on. But like right now, if it comes back and stops us out, there's some serious problem with margin. Okay, so we're out. So that right there just brought our margin back up. So we're a little safer. The lowest I've seen it get was like $600. So, but that'll blow an account. So the amount of money that you had in your account right now, which is what, $22.95, it would have been gone. Order filled. Okay, right here, $2.43. We haven't blown it, but and you can see how we're going to blow the account here because you only got $2,500 to play with, and we've sucked it all up. Our high was 36.1867, and we've given back way too much margin. Now we still got $1,100, so there's all the math behind there, but it doesn't change things. We have $2 left of margin, so you can see what's going to happen here. Whoa. Okay, I saw $5. $2, $5. Wow, that was something else. Now I didn't see, maybe there was a flash there that it went under negative, so it's kind of, we'll see. But anyway, we're gonna clean that up though, because there's many of these there's many of these trades I saw that were way into the profit and gave it all back. That kills you. We just blew the account. So right there, negative 55.93. So we need to work on this. I think what we need to do is go into here. We really got to watch this drawdown. I don't care what you have in here, and that's where you give it all back, and that's where these prop firms make the money. You bank some money, and you look good, but your margin gets killed, and you blow the account, and then all that money that's in there is gone. And there is one company that allows you to take, if you blow a live account, and if you blow it, you'll able to bank, and you can withdraw the amount that you've made so far. But from that point forward, obviously the account is dead. But all the others that I know of, and I forget which one that is, I can look it up if anybody's interested, but all the others say, I don't care if you got $1 million in there, if you bust your margin, they keep it. Or if they're not even, they don't have to pay it out. So if they're putting it into the market, or if they're just covering it themselves, regardless, they're not paying you. And that's why they don't want to do that. That's why if you're out a penny, just a penny, you're done. There's no turning back. They do not want to pay you back. So that's that's the problem with the prop firm. So this number right here, you've got to watch, because it goes from your account peak, unless it's a realized account. Now, if you're dealing with the realized, and that's where I go. Here, hold on a second. Since we're talking about it, this down here in the box, I would definitely read it. You have to, there's a little video here, position sizing, things like that. You can watch this if you haven't already. These are just ones that, if you notice here, I put this there for a reason. Unrealized, realized. Now, if you go to all of them and go to on the left side, these are all of them, and you'll see how they all are. There's only 3, maybe 4. There's a few that I'm familiar with. Obviously, Top Step, I've been around them for quite a while. They're realized. Tick realized. U Profit is another one. The only problem is U Profit doesn't do a lot of sales. Top Step never does any sales / discount codes. Tick does. They're all right. I'm not as familiar with this one. Now, Apex is unrealized, and so as everybody else down here. Now, there's one good thing about Apex is they do it on the account, so it definitely is a lot better. Some of these others do it per trade, so you're getting smashed big time. So in any event, you really got to watch. There's another one. You really got to. I should move that to the top. You really got to watch that margin. It's all about the margin. So everybody just wants, the cheap discounts and all that, which is all fine and dandy, but it's all about controlling margin. So if you go to the discount code, you can subscribe to right here on this link right here. You can get notifications because I send these out, a couple times. You see they're always changing with the dates on here. So actually, this one expires tomorrow. This is realized. So if you're interested in that one, I did send out this email the other day. Because it's a short-lived one. But I'm always changing this, so you're more than welcome to subscribe. It doesn't cost you money. Just put your email address in here, and bada boom, bada bang. Okay, so that's enough said on that. But now, in this here, since we're here, I'm going to go to the indicators, and I'm going to go to the status box, and you can see here I am doing unrealized because this is I've been using an Apex account. You could switch it to realized, but in this case. And realize is so much better because it doesn't care if you go up $1 million. If you go out to break even, it's zero. You don't lose anything. You don't get anything, whatever. But it's not counting against you. Unrealized, it's going to count that $1 million that you just went, and it's going to come back down, and it's going to bite you because you should have taken the money. So now that we're dealing with unrealized, and we have our stop on there. I'm not going to allow it to come back on us. So I think that's going to save us a little bit, but we'll find out. So let's go. We'll do the same week again. Okay. So you can see how that's not working either. And watching this, I could see what I want to try to do now. It's all about the money management. This is turning into a margin lesson over a logic auto trader. So what I want to do is, watching this, I am going to change this, and I'm going to make the 60 is too tight, I think. I'm going to make this a catastrophic stop. I'm going to make this, 150 initial ticks. So, I mean, that's huge, but you got to remember the logic behind this is going to move it closer anyway. This is just the initial stop of 150 is the catastrophic I was calling it. It's never going to really be hit. But really, I need to have it on there. So the profit target that we're going for is 100. But again, the logic is going to move that. So we'll let that go. And that'll be changed, which is fine. So those are just initial. This is what I want to do here. I'm changing this. So profit target, 41 ticks is way too tight. So 41 ticks is fine if I'm getting the money, but it's just not enough room. 40 ticks. It's just not enough room to play and wiggle around. So I'm going to give it a negative, let's say 30. Negative 30. That's a total 70 tick spread from being positive 40 to a negative 30. So that's a pretty big run. And of course, the logic behind the scenes is going to move it if necessary, but I'm forcing it to that level. Now, when I get to 60, I don't have a problem with keeping it tight. I'll go with my typical 28. How's that? I'm going to go 28. But I even think, yeah, 60 is good. And I'm going to make this every, let's just make that every 6 ticks. So when it gets to 60 in the profit, it'll trail 28. Now, again, the logic will follow it, but I'm only going to give it a small little bit to move back on my margin because I'm already in the money. The reason why I'm doing this here is because we're still wiggling around the area, and it's got to marinate there, and everybody in the world's going in that area. You think we're the only ones looking at that area? Absolutely not. So once it marinates and goes in our direction, if we have the probabilities on our side, it'll go in our direction. So now when we're at 60 ticks in the profit, I don't want to give it all back. Now, I don't know what the lucky number is on that, but I got to start somewhere. I just don't want it to give back too much. I would rather take the profit. We have to maintain this margin. So let me save that. Save, okay, save, okay, yes, okay. There we go. So I'm going to come back. We're going to do this again. All right. Okay, here we go again. So unpause it, and let's let it rip. I've got 0. So again, as soon as I get a first trade, we're going to change it so it shows it up right away. There's no reason that it should wait for a trade, but whatever. All right, so let's just get this going. And the only thing we've changed is our trade management. Okay. Okay, we're entering on Friday. You could see how all week we have struggled to maintain that margin, almost to the point where we, came down, dangerously low. So we really got to watch that drawdown. That's the main thing. And what we're talking about doing here is, in order to manage that under indicators here, where it has your account, we're going to put account 1, account 2, account 3, etc. in there. Therefore, when it takes one, and I would strongly recommend one contract per account, and whatever is in there, it's just going to take the one, but it's going to put one in each of those accounts. So even though right now, if we had two accounts running and had a contract in each, right now our realized P&L would be, $3,000. But our margin would be, $1,000 in each account, so we'd still be okay. But if we had 2 contracts in this account, our margin would be bust. I just saw it flash $800 there for a second, so you see we're starting to get dangerously low again. So we need a couple winners. All we need is a winner, a winning day, I should say. You know, this has been a struggle. This week's has, you know, been a little difficult. So we're trying to, if we can get it to go green in a bad market, then trending markets where it's just so easy. It's like taking candy from a baby. Those are the days, you know, we'll do it. And what's changed? The logic hasn't changed. The only thing that's changed is the market. So that's where we're at. So let me finish this day. I'm not going to do the second week, which I wanted to. You see the clock. It's getting late. We're at 3 hours and 20 minutes into this video already. And then I've got to slice it down to hopefully a decent video. I'll have to cut or I'll fast forward some. If you guys want to fast forward through it, just hit your right arrow and it'll just zoom past it, or you know, just zoom yourself. There are a couple of narrations I've had here and there, but needless to say, that's the homework that's got to be done. So it is what it is. So all right, so let's just finish and watch this last one, and we'll go from there. And I don't know if I'm going to send out emails on this. I might not. I don't know. But if you haven't already done so, I would definitely recommend subscribing to the YouTube, you know, the notifications on there, so you get notified, you know, to the channel, and that way you get notified when I do them. If I do emails, it's going to be only to the people that have signed up for I'll probably send it to the discipline code people that have signed up for that one, because we talk about, you know, prop firms and whatnot, and all those people are involved in prop firms. And then I'll send it to the people that are interested in on the list of the entry signals. So other than that, or anybody obviously that says all emails will get it too. So I try to limit those. So in any event, let's just sit back and watch. We are very dangerously low on this margin account. You can see how you have to watch that. You've got to take profits. NASDAQ has got to take these profits. Well, look at that, 95 cents. Looks like we busted this account. Well, technically not yet, but come on. This next one has to go and not give any back. And, you know, with the margin and all that, I don't know if I can even do that. Or not margin, with the commission. We'll see what happens. Now, I've got what I'm not sure of, and if somebody knows the answer, you can put it in the comment section or email me or catch me in social hour or something like that. But if it falls down negative, you know, to a negative number intra trade, well, you're in it. But then you come out, and at the end of the trade, you're positive. Does it, to me, being unrealized, it's going to calculate it and say, you were negative at some point in time, we don't care when, and therefore you're busted on your account? Or are they going to look at the account once it's closed and says, you're negative? I know that's the whole realization should be, you know, that's how realization does it, but this is an unrealized. I have the settings on an unrealized, so therefore anything intraday, and that's why it changes, because I have it set to unrealized. It changes intra-trade. If I had it set to realized, it would only change at the end of the trade. I'm just curious to see if an account would pop you out, even if you survive the trade itself. So let me know. I have one more idea to do for trade management that I thought of, but I don't feel like doing this week again right now. It's late. So what I think I might do is I might run it again later, you know, just without being here, and see what happens. It might be another video, or I might attach it to the end, or, you know, we'll see. I'm just going to let this go to the end of Friday since we're so close. But boy, what a ride it was, huh? Doesn't really matter. It's all about margin. Doesn't matter. I think I forget what the high was. I could look at the trade performance, but certainly it was a couple $1,000. I think I saw $3,000 there at one point in time. But it doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything if we can't survive margin. You have to survive margin. So. Order submitted. All right, there we go. See, negative. I just saw it there, negative. So we are negative. If we close negative, there's no doubt about it. Yeah, so we're done. This account's done. All right, so let's just turn that off now. Let's bring over this. Hit generate. Get all my trades in here. Okay, so go to the bottom. Our number right here is our realized P&L is 11144, but we busted our margin, so it doesn't really matter. So you could see here, I'm going to go start at the top. You could see how we were just struggling. But there was a time here that we did. There's 1800. Here we go, 2023. Hold on. All right. So, yeah, you see how we get really low here. Anyway, so I'm gonna here. Let me do this. Let me take this, export it. Let's throw it in here. I want to say this is what. Let's do 2308. Is it 04 through 011? No, 07. 7 through 11. Okay. Get rid of all this. There we go. Now, let's try this. Hold on. I'll be back. Okay, so there's my data. Let's get here. Let's pull this. Let's pull that down here. Refresh. pull this. Okay, let's blow this out. Let's get this out of here. All right, so let's do, and that's fine. I want to look at, we're working on dynamic, that we're fixing this dynamic stop issue. But I want to look at, not price, where's the time? Time right here. I want to get rid of, let's just look at the morning time here, or mid, let's say 10, 11, 12, 3, 15. Here, let's just look at this. This is on the 7th during market hours. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the drawdown. But you could see here with the profits, with even these, I can tell you right now, even back-to-back losers, we wouldn't have hit it. So you could see here that when we start getting into, here, let's add another day. So, whoa, what happened there? Entry time. What happened? Okay. So let's do 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There we go. Okay, 2 days. So 1,500, you can see here. So you could see once we start narrowing out some days, overnight business will be fine. I don't want to spend a lot of time doing this. This gets more into the analytical part of it, and it's getting way late. And let's just add another day here. So you can see it's still a struggle, but we got work to do, but this is where we're at with this. So let me, okay, so I do want to do one thing. I am going to change my ATM here a little bit. I have an idea, and I'm gonna come back to it, but we're working on the stops too. So the logic is, I'm okay with the logic. The logic is fine as far as taking the trades. It's the management of it. That's what we got to deal with. So I'm gonna go back and see what I can do with that. All right. Okay, I'm back now, and I got a fresh new account. I'm doing the same date. I better change that. I do not want to, 7 to the 11th. That's what I want to do. Okay, so here we go. I'll turn that on. And the only thing I've done here is changed my ATM. I'm taking smaller targets. And because of the fact of this margin, I can't give back. That's the issue with these funding firms, is you can't give back. So let me crank this. I'm going to go, and I'll be back later on. Now I do have the dynamic targets and stops and whatnot are still in here. We're going to tweak these a little bit, but you might see some little fighting back and forth between, a target, and then see right there, it just went one level and it just pushed back. So I might not be able to do what I wanted to do, but we'll see how this goes. All right, I'll be back. Nope, I see a negative number there. So accounts crashed. Just got back in. So we're up $1,100, but it doesn't mean a thing because we didn't have enough margin. So lesson learned is, though, that, I mean, it's over, so I get to stop it. That, yeah, $800 for a whole week, not the greatest, but we blew the account anyway, so it doesn't matter. All right.